Greetings, Guardians. Welcome to the Voice of the Vanguard. You have with me here today your host, Kane from Kane Plays Stuff, and we also have Sully from Sully _ Games.
Great. Love it.
And today we're going to be talking about our weekly story mission for Destiny 2. And in case you didn't know, this is a Destiny 2 podcast.
No.
Yeah.
Thought it was Diablo.
Well, it might be Diablo. We'll find out.
And Friday.
And then we'll also be talking a little bit, not a whole lot, about the Crucible blog, just a couple of changes that I'm looking forward to. One or two mentions of the TWAB. We have some questions from Axel, Ison, and Wilson over on our Discord. And we'll start off the show just talking a little bit about Lance Reddick. He unfortunately passed away the day after we recorded this podcast last week. Friday. And the Destiny community got together and started holding vigils and paying respects to Zavala. He's been with us for, 9 years now?
Yeah.
He's one of the main characters from the first game. And yeah, he was just an incredible voice actor in general. I loved him from the John Wick movies.
Yeah, see, I don't really know him other than in Destiny. He was also in Horizon.
Yeah.
And then he was in like an episode or two of like The Blacklist, but like I've only like really known him from like Destiny itself. I have like a bunch of like a lot of my other followers on like Twitter that are like for like my Titan side, like a lot of them knew him from like the movies and stuff. So it was kind of like really cool to like see them also like see how much of an impact like he made on them as well. To be like see them like, my goodness, like Lance passed away like no like what 60, correct?
Yeah, he was 60 years old. That's it's pretty young.
And has there been a cause of death?
So far all we know is natural causes, but yeah, still young. Yeah, I know him mostly from John Wick and Destiny 2, and then Horizon, obviously. But I started going back and watching some of his other stuff from the past, and he was mostly known from The Wire, I believe. I think that was his big like role that brought him into a lot of people's consciousness. And then I think John Wick just kind of cemented it because of his presence. Like, that's a guy that if you see him walk into a room, everyone looks at him because he just has this commanding presence, and his voice is just so.
I was just about to say that voice is just so like dominant, but like smooth at the same time.
It's iconic. It really is.
So.
So yeah, we'll just dedicate our show to Lance Reddick. I know he had charity that he was promoting, I think called Mom Cares. I think the family has said that if you want to throw a little money their way in respects to him, you can do that. And yeah.
I would like to actually, I don't know if like we're like wrapping this up or going on, but like I think the biggest thing that kind of like stood out to me with like Lance being in the Destiny community, like not only was he like so great in the game, I mean with Zavala, but like he was so great with like just the Destiny community itself. Like you could tell like he like really enjoyed playing the character Zavala. It wasn't like, okay, I'm getting paid money to do this, I'm just gonna do it because I'm getting paid. Like he generally seemed to like really care. Like he really enjoyed Destiny, really enjoyed the Destiny community, like and interacting with them. Like he was definitely a huge part for people that have been invested in Destiny for like the past 9 years. So as you said, it was really nice to see like everybody just kind of like come together for that, and especially after it was kind of like the past week with just so much. You had, Bungie turning off their replies on like a Twitter post. Literally, I think that might have been like the day before, 2 days before that, when they turned that off. And then you had the whole Lance situation, and everybody just like coming together. It was really cool.
Yeah, I followed him on TikTok and Twitter and things like that. He was like a ray of sunshine on social media, just in general. He seemed like a very nice and happy guy, and yeah, his videos were awesome because he would like role play as Zavala and just like do his own lines for jokes. Like it was so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, he was also playing Destiny the day before he passed, the night before.
Yeah, wasn't he like working on like the campaign or something like that?
Yeah, he was going through the campaign.
So
it's unfortunate. But we'll move right into the story mission this week. So, Sully, thoughts on this week's story mission?
it kind of felt like out of place in a way. Like I don't know, like I really don't know. Like, I mean, they're like, who we like, we're going like for like revenge because like Amanda like died, but like, who are we going to revenge with? Like, literally the entire like Shadow Legion. Like, there was really no setup, like at least that I know of, at least that I was paying attention, I guess. But like, I don't know. Like, they almost kind of like felt like they wanted to just like kill off a character to just kill off a character.
I don't know about that. I think they wanted to add some kind of stakes to the story this season. And that's kind of funny I say that because they did kill the Traveler, I guess. But that was kind of like, did they kill the Traveler?
Yeah.
That's kind of how I felt about this mission a bit. Not that did they kill Amanda, because obviously she's dead. They have her body on the table. And Zaval is like paying his respects. But yeah, they just killed her off. It seemed like it just went through really quick for me.
Yeah, well, I think that was like kind of like another thing. I didn't really feel like there was much of like a build up, I guess, to it, and it just kind of like it happened. Like I don't know. Yeah. I kind of already knew what happened like before like I actually did it, so like it wasn't like a huge like, oh my god, like what the freak, like once I kind of like, okay, when I saw like I was like, okay, they're gonna kill her off, blah 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 here, and like at first I thought they're gonna kill her off by like when she was like getting electrocuted. I was like, okay, come on now, like that seems really lame.
Yeah, that's pretty lame. I think the reason why her death doesn't hit as hard, like it's definitely sad, but it doesn't hit as hard with me, is because of the whole nebulous, like, the idea of them taking prisoners, and I don't even know who they are. I guess the Shadow Legion is they, but then since we killed Callus and there's no one that took his place for the Shadow Legion, they're kind of just around.
That we know of, I guess.
Yeah. I think if it was more clear on like who it is that was like taking his place and that we're trying to exact revenge on, it would make more sense. It would feel more impactful.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be too down on it because I did like a lot of the writing that went around it. When Marasov is like talking to Crow about like how grief makes poor counsel, like don't go for revenge, think things through. And like a lot of this stuff reminded me of Forsaken and like how Uldren had revenge, and just like he was driven by emotions rather than thinking things through. But he was also possessed, so he had that going for him too.
Yeah, that's a big part, actually. let's not forget that he was possessed.
But he got into the moment where he was able to get possessed like that. So, and then it was also just really cool to see Misraaks and Mara and Caital talking amongst themselves, even if it was a radio message, about grief and how like each culture's like how they handle death. Um, like, for instance, the Cabal count their victories on their tusks, and then when they die, they recount them. And then that just made me think about things like it's wild that this mission was this week because it's so close to Lance's death.
Yeah.
It reminds me, like, when they talked about the Tusk, I actually was thinking about it. It's like, yeah, we kind of do that for, like, when people pass here, especially celebrities, because everybody knows about their history, or they know a lot about their history, the things that they've done, so they recount those. Yeah, it's kind of a crazy week for this mission.
Yeah, I kind of surprised, like, maybe they, with it, like, maybe they could have pushed it back a week, but because it's only we got like one more week after this and the season's done, or is it 2 more?
Yeah, it's just one more mission after this, from as far as I know.
So, which, I mean, typically the first season story content is always the shortest. We'll say this is probably the best story that we've gotten, like, on a new expansion for seasonal content. But that's not saying much, in my opinion.
Yeah, so far it's been better than Hunt and the Battlegrounds. I don't remember what the Scion Battlegrounds. I don't remember the season name. Is it Chosen? It's not Chosen, right? Is it Chosen?
It might have been Chosen.
Chosen.
I think it was Chosen.
Yeah. Then there was also Risen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was Risen.
Yeah, it was Risen. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember what was with Shadowkeep.
Yeah, Ace says Risen. How do you forget the Shadowkeep one? Season of the Undying, my friend.
Oh, Season 9. I just remember Vex Offensive. That's the only thing that matters.
Season of Vex Offensive.
You know, everything else doesn't matter except for Vex Offensive. Only thing.
And there was also a lot of discussion around, well, you know, Amanda's dead. Are they going to make her a Guardian now? You know, like, is she going to come back?
This was talked about, like, a few weeks ago. I was seeing this on Twitter. I've been venturing down some rabbit holes in the Destiny community that they were going to kill her off, and then they're going to bring her back as a Guardian, or they're going to kill off Devron and bring him back as a Guardian. They weren't going to do both. They're going to do, like, one of the two. So I could 100% definitely see them bringing back Amanda as a Guardian somehow. I think she's a pretty well, like, received character in the Destiny community. So I could definitely see them. And I feel like that wouldn't necessarily, like, I think you and I kind of talked about this the other day. Like, I don't feel like that's, like, cheap, I guess, to kill her off and then to bring her back in final shape as a Guardian.
Yeah, in my opinion, it does cheapen it a bit. If you're going to have death in this universe, like, it's got to mean something. Like, we did that with Cade and it meant something, you know?
Yeah.
But then Uldren came back as Crow, which led to be a pretty good story. Being, like, a different person, but people look down on you for the things you did in your past that wasn't even you. But if you do that with her, there's nothing like that. It's kind of just like, hey, Amanda's back. She's not Amanda, though. She's Sally now.
Sally?
Yeah. I thought of your name, and I just made, like, a female version of it.
God damn it. We need a freaking Hunter Vanguard. Okay. I'm claiming Amanda as a Hunter Vanguard.
Yeah, she would be a pretty good Hunter Vanguard, I believe. Yeah. So that was the story. I don't know if you have anything else you want to add to that.
I don't know. It felt off. Like, to me, like, I said, maybe it's just because I knew going into there on what happened. Like, but, like, I don't know. I just kind of, like, oh, like, okay, Amanda's dead, I guess.
Yeah, it just it was just too rushed for me, for my liking. Literally the week before we learned about her backstory, and then imagine if you're someone that doesn't play these week to week, you play it like once a month or something like that, and you play through all these stories back to back. It's like, Oh, this is pretty cool. Like learning about her backstory. Oh, she's dead. Okay, well, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think it's just also like for people that have been playing Destiny for a while. Like, I mean, you've known like Amanda's been actually she's had like a pretty big part like in the Destiny community like throughout. Like, she's not like a super main NPC, but like she's had some roles in the Destiny storylines, if it's main story or seasonal content or whatnot. But so like she killing her off like it's kind of a hurt in terms of like on NPCs they have to use at the moment. Like it's getting pretty slim pickings. Like Ikora about to be going from doing nothing to doing like
Everything.
Everything.
She's your Twitch vendor. She's your Vanguard vendor now.
She's about to be a freaking boss. That's what she's about to be. Like, I got this shit, guys. We might have to have 3 different voice actors, but we got it.
It's a different voice actor for each interaction you need to do. It's like,
Yeah.
Oh man.
They have the seasonal, they have the main storyline, and then they have the tower.
Mm-hmm. Don't forget the Enclave. Different voice actor for that too.
Yeah, she's not there though. So
sometimes she is.
Yeah, when you have to go talk to her, then go talk to her at the Enclave after you just got done talking to her at the tower.
Yeah.
Don't ever cut that.
Yeah, there's just so many weird decisions in this, when it comes to narrative.
Yeah.
What? Oh.
I'm trying to. I said I went down a rabbit hole, man. So
yeah,
be interested in seeing if some of this stuff is true. That.
So, I will say though, it does feel like we actually lost because, like, I know in the beginning, I mean, at the end of Lightfall, you said that like we lost, and it's like, did we though? And it's because of like the Traveler didn't feel like it actually died, or whatever happened to it happened to it.
Yeah, I think. So it's kind of weird. Like I feel like on how like the Destiny, like obviously like there's not really, I guess, days, I guess, really. Like I feel like just at like we're still technically at the moment after we beat Lightfall, like the universe is still like at that moment, like when the witness like goes in. Like I feel like time hasn't passed in the Destiny universe. I don't know. So like I feel like we have to see like a guardian, like an actual like guardian die and see what would happen. Like are ghosts like still actually like working technically properly?
Well, I assume they are because we're still dying and getting rezzed. Yeah, it's a what? You don't think our Guardian has died since then?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure we've died multiple times during the raid.
Well, we have, but like I feel like, I mean, we have killed Nezia like 500 times already. That dude's still popping out like his cocoon as a pretty butterfly.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't know, like in terms of like timeline. So I'm still trying to make my case. I still think after Lightfall, everybody else is like, "Oh no, did we really lose?" I'm like, so we lost. Like,
yeah,
we definitely got beat.
Yeah, it definitely feels that way now. I did want to ask you one more question before we get off. Is do you think this is the last death of the year, or do you think there's more deaths to come in the seasonal story?
I think there's more.
Like next season or the season after that.
Yeah. I think. Yeah. I think we're gonna be kind of very slim on who we have to talk to. I feel like that's just the best way to really kind of like. I do think it, like I kind of said, I think Amanda will come back in final shape. So like some of these deaths will kind of like come back as like guardians, but I definitely think there'll be some more sacrifice throughout the seasons, 1 or 2.
I think that there won't be another death in the seasons. I don't think so. It's because when I think about it, it's like there's really like who else are you gonna kill off?
I don't think it's necessarily going to be like super big characters. I mean, it could be like Misraaks could pass away, like he could die
You
in
could
a
die in a fight, and
situation.
then Ido takes over or whatever.
Yeah, you know, it could be like another uh vendor, like NPC vendor from like a planet, like a dev room, or like um do we kind of want to talk about a little bit about rumors about what could be
Oh
coming back?
yes, I meant to add that to the document. But
Um,
yeah, if you want to get into the rumors now, we can do that.
with potentially like Titan coming back and Sloane, like that she could be somebody that could like die, like
I
or
thought
like just any
she
other.
already died on Titan.
She well, I don't know. We don't know. She like is wearing this super armor. She's a
Oh,
badass,
yeah.
so wouldn't be surprised. Like
Super
I
armor.
don't,
Yeah.
you know, who knows? Like there was, I don't think there was ever like any clarification on if she is alive or dead, but I just kind of mentioning on names. So like I don't think like Osiris or like Ikora are gonna die. They might move something along the lines in terms of Zavala. Zavala might be kind of like an opening the final shape. Um, but I guess we'll kind of see. I don't know like how far along. Like I've heard reports that they're like typically 2 to 3 seasons ahead. So that means, I mean, they got to be fairly far in the story writing for final shape would be my guess, if not done.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. You can't keep Zavala around, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think you have to like let him like rest and actually like have a good tribute to like Lance.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. Yeah, did you want to, before we head into the Crucible blog, did you want to talk about the other rumors?
No,
No, you don't want to talk about those?
No, I want to see if the 2 rumors come true next season.
Okay.
So, and then we can kind of go there because I mean, I found down a rabbit hole, dude. I found a lot of rumors, like a lot of just.
Are you on the 4chans again?
Who was it? I think it was Cool Guy. Blame Cool Guy. He posted something, and people were posting stuff in like his Twitter feed, and they're posting like links, and then I was on Reddit and on just other things. And, yeah, the one thing like I found, like it seems to be like could be like pretty accurate. So we'll see.
All right, we'll save that for later, maybe a year from now.
Well, I think we can talk maybe a little bit towards the end of next season because we got to figure after next season it will be going into the 3rd season. We'll have the reveal of final shape and whatever is after final shape. So we can kind of talk a little bit about some of the stuff I found around that time.
Right. So let's head on into the Crucible blog. We're not going to recap the entire blog because it's
Why not?
It's like
super short.
There's about 20 graphs and maybe 20,000 words. So I'm just going to recap a couple things.
I mean, graphs, that's some great content right there, baby.
Oh, man.
Everybody loves a nice graph. Okay.
So they're making changes to some of the loot and some of the matchmaking changes. I believe this is happening next season, right?
I think so.
Yeah. So first off, just get this out of the way. They're bringing in a new weapon. It's a sniper rifle for competitive, and they're removing rows. I don't know why they would want to remove loot from that game mode. You might as well just put it in a loot pool. And then have the sniper be the new feature weapon, and just do that. This is one of my little gripes about that. They're also making changes to matchmaking for basically every game mode. Competitive is going to be both skill and rank based. It's going to be a combination of the two. The reason why they don't want to do just rank is because they're afraid of people that are like Smurfs, and they'll just like kill or farm lower ranked people.
Okay, but my thing with the whole like Smurf, I mean, I guess either way, having both, it's still good. But like, okay, if you're Smurfing, you're you hop in, new character, new account, and you're just like literally like, I mean, just annihilating everyone. You're gonna be moving up the ranks pretty quick.
Yeah, I think that's why it's not that big of a deal.
But yeah,
I think the changes are going to be good though, because you do want to have people in your rank that you're facing off against, because ideally that will put you with people that are similar skilled.
Yeah.
So doing a mixture of the two, I think, could be good. The big changes are coming though is to quick play and trials. I'll start off with trials. I think these are pretty good changes overall. So there's no longer going to be a flawless pool and a non-flawless pool. They're getting rid of that. Instead, what they're going to do is they're going to have a challenger pool and a practice pool. A challenger pool is basically someone that has not lost on their ticket. So players who have any card with no losses, including after reset, or those playing with someone in their fire team that has a card with no losses, will be placed in the challenger pool. So you're basically like, this is it, I'm going for it, I'm going for the flawless. And then the practice pool. Practice pool is people that have, this one's based on connection and weekly performance, so just connection. Challenger pool is just connection, I believe. So this is including weekly performance, so how well you've done in trials for the week, and it resets every week. Only players with a flawed card are going to be in this pool. And I think that's good. You could also look at it as a way of like challenger pool and farming pool, like farming rep pool.
Yeah, but I mean, I still feel because like challenger pool, it's just basically like what, like as soon as you get a loss, basically you move down.
Yeah, but if you want to go for flawless, you just reset your card because you lost anyways.
Yeah, true.
And then a couple changes to the passages. One of them was that mercy is going to grant 2 mercies on a card. So if you lose 2 matches, you're still good instead of just 1. Which I'm really happy about these changes. Like, it feels like something that someone who's like, I'm not great, I'm not bad, I'm kind of average, maybe a little bit below, maybe a little bit above, depending on the day. Gives me a chance to go in there and get a few games. Because I've gotten to the point where I've gotten like 4 or 5 as my highest.
I always say this. Maybe this will make me play trials more, but I always say that when there's like a big change to trials, and then it comes around, I'm just like, nah, I'm good.
Do you just not like the game mode, like elimination?
No, I actually really enjoy like trials itself. I need to start playing more 3s because I think 6, like I've been hearing 3s is a lot better than 6s right now.
Yeah,
so
I've been enjoying 3s more
compared to 6s, but I don't know. I just never like, even like we're playing Iron Banner yesterday. I really need to start playing Crucible again because I can just tell like not as good. Like I was never great to begin with, but like I was pretty good. I can just definitely tell like I just don't play Crucible enough. So maybe that's something I kind of really focus on throughout this year, is focusing on PvP. So maybe I'd go and play some trials with you on the weekends. Maybe we'll get Ace, Chuck.
Justin.
I think Justin's too scared of PC players. So.
Oh man. So then also what they're going to be adding for quick play is two different game modes. Let me look them up real quick. One's going to be based entirely on connection, and one's going to be based on skill. I think it's skill and connection. Let me look this up. So upcoming changes. Clash will be leaving quick play playlist. Yeah, here they are. So we have Crucible, Relentless Rotator, which is Clash, Rift, and Zone Control, or just Control. So this will be our main haven for players who want to engage with large team-based quick gameplay outside of skill-based matchmaking. Then we have, and then the Relentless Rotator will be replaced with Trials when it's active. So you'll have that during the week, and then when it hits the weekend for Trials, it'll go away, and you'll have Trials. Then they'll have the Crucible Party Rotator, which is Mayhem, Scorch, Momentum Control. These are game modes that is going to be more of a party, I guess.
Always down for a party.
I actually like Mayhem, Scorched, and Momentum Control. I know a lot of people are like get frustrated with it because it's not just shooting.
Yeah.
And then I think that's it for all I want to talk about. Is there anything in the Crucible changes you want to talk about?
No, I mean there's a lot here. There's probably potentially a lot of good stuff. End of the day, I would rather just let me talk about it when it comes out. Let me feel it for a week. You know, it still comes down to in Crucible. It comes down to maps. It comes down to just, you know, time to kill with weapons / abilities. I think abilities are still a little too overpowerful in Crucible. But I don't know, we'll see. I guess once it comes out, hopefully it's something I enjoy and gets me back into Crucible. Because I mean, there was a time right before that, like a few months before Shadowkeep, I literally no life Crucible. I mean, that's all I did was hop on and just grind and get better at Crucible. Not that saying that Crucible was like in a good state at that point, but like I think it was better than what it is now, which isn't saying much.
Yeah, well, they never. Well, back in Forsaken before Shadowkeep, there was fewer like focus on ability upkeep and spam. So
Yeah.
Okay. What else do we have here?
We got the TWAB.
Yeah, we got the TWAB. So Master Mode and rotations are coming next week for Root of Nightmares.
Yay! Master Root.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this. Like the last couple of weeks, I was like, "Wait, what do you mean there's no challenges? Like, what's going on here?"
Yeah. Ace called it. He said it would, the challenges would drop with Master, so couldn't remember if they did that with King's Fall or not, but
they did that with King's Fall, and I think that was like the first time they brought that back. So that's why I thought it was weird. I thought, oh, this was just for King's Fall now. This is how it's going to be.
Which, I mean, that's fine, I guess. Whatever.
Yeah.
Gives you enough time to figure out how to dominate this extremely easy raid.
Do you have anything else you want to list out from the TWAB? Because I don't really...
So, I mean, yes, kind of. With Master Ron dropping on Tuesday, we will also be getting our Adept weapons. Yay! Mid-season, those Adept weapons that we would get from doing Master challenges, I don't know about buying. I'm assuming buying and getting drops from the challenge mode. We can make those perks on those weapons enhanced. So if you happen to get like a pretty good roll of like an Adept Rufus, go ahead and hang on to that. And then when the mid-season patch drops the Adept weapons, you can enhance those perks. So that'd be kind of cool. It'd be the first time actually Adept weapons they're useful. Holy crap.
Yeah, they're getting enhanced perks, which is a nice little bonus.
Yeah.
Second challenge is probably going to be the auto rifle, isn't it? What do you think?
Probably.
Yeah. So I can see farming that a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't be too hard. All you have to do is go from one platform to the other.
Yeah, and as I said, I don't know if because they don't really they don't really talk about depth weapons will be possible. The traits that rolled on the weapon. They don't actually. So when cleared on master difficulty, they're rewarded a depth raid weapon. But you can also buy raid weapons. So I'm assuming if you buy a raid weapon, those should also be able to get enhanced. I would think.
Yeah, I would think you would be able to do that. Sure.
I would maybe hold off if you get like a weapon, like say if you got a Rufus, say it like was just kind of like, it's okay. Still hang on to it. Don't buy any until I guess the mid-season patch comes out and they talk. Cause I would assume you could buy it and get a good roll on an adept one, and then they would come out with enhanced perks with the mid-season patch. But who knows? It might be something you just have to play the activity. Doubt it, but play it safe because spoils can be kind of hard to come by.
Is that all for the TWAB, or is there more?
There is more. So believe it or not, our jump pads are actually tied to the FPS bug.
What? No.
Yeah. So anything with a higher frame rate of 80 FPS and not below 60 FPS could be unintentionally killed or almost killed by using the jump pads. We're investigating a change to address the issue in an upcoming release. So it's being looked at, but big shocker, FPS bug.
That'd be nice for the people that want to go flawless out there and not rip their hair out.
Yeah, just use Strand. Strand Hunter.
Strand Hunter and Sword. Eager Edge.
Yeah. I think that is it for TWAB. Nothing else. Some kind of cool posts, like pictures and some videos for Zavala, but that's it.
All right, let's head into the questions that we have from our Discord. You can also leave a question. We always ask every Thursday morning before we record the show. If people have questions. Our first one comes from our dear friend Axel. He asks us, do people sleep on Deathbringer?
You gonna answer?
Okay. No, because Deathbringer's not great.
You just killed this poor guy's soul.
Yeah. Deathbringer is alright. I think it does the highest damage like per rocket. It doesn't really, because you need to have volatile rounds, and without volatile rounds, the DPS for that rocket tanks. I think the actual highest DPS is the Eyes of Tomorrow, but you have to activate the. I don't think it's adaptive munitions. I can't remember what the perk is called, but you need to activate the perk to get it. And then when you look at the total DPS just in general, it's worse than Whisper with volatile rounds, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, and it just barely beats out Gallahorn, which Gallahorn isn't a very good rocket. You just use Gallahorn for the exotic perk to then enhance all the other rockets around it.
Yeah. So now people aren't sleeping on Deathbringer. It's just a mid-tier weapon.
Just Axel, his soul is gone. Just ruined his soul. Yeah,
what do you think?
I don't think it's like great. I mean, it's probably a fun gun to use because it's very unique. Like you just kind of like shoot it up and then it like explodes, and you have like these like Nova bomb type things flying around. So I mean, it's a cool weapon. Probably fun to use. I haven't used that thing probably since like it was Godly and Gambit when it first released.
Yeah, and it used to be actual meta before.
Yeah,
especially with the Catalyst.
But yeah, I haven't touched it.
But yeah, it's more of a Gambit weapon than anything really.
And which I will say this, I have been saying, remove Gambit You know, I'm over Gambit. And every time I hop on freaking Twitter, people are like, dude, Gambit is so much fun right now. Like everybody's loving Gambit. I'm just like, guys, come on now. Stop. Let's be serious.
Y'all wild out there.
Yeah, a lot of people, like even like PvP people are like having fun because like they're getting matches faster. It's like it's either like I don't know, just super quick.
Better than Iron Banner.
So no. Get Gambit out of here. Nobody needs it. Nobody wants it. Except I do love Drifter. Keep him around.
Yeah, my opinions on Gambit is that it's all right, but it's kind of dead because there's no content for it really, other than your weeklies. All right. So moving on, we have that Ison. He's asked us, what raids should Bungie reprise next? Not which one do you think they will reprise, but which one do you think they should?
I'll let you go first.
Why you let me go first?
Yeah, just go first.
So the options here was what? Crotozan, Wrath of the Machine, Leviathan, Eater of Worlds, Spyro Stars, or others. I think those ones are in the game, or yeah, and the other ones are the ones that haven't been listed there. Honestly, I would like to see Wrath of the Machine because I've never played that one before, and I keep hearing how much people really enjoyed that raid.
That was a fun raid. It wasn't amazing, but it was fun. It had some cool mechanics to it.
Yeah, I saw the thing. Yeah, I saw that there was like one encounter where you're running off from this machine or whatever that's eating everything. I can't remember what that one was.
Oh, the part that when you're getting the parts.
Yeah, you're getting the parts together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that looks pretty fun.
Yeah, it was a cool raid. Boss encounter was pretty cool. Overall, I mean, it was good. I wouldn't be surprised. Once again, I feel like, and I think they kind of have said something that like, I feel like Crota End is it coming back? And I was thinking that they weren't going to bring back Wrath. I was thinking that they said something that Wrath wasn't coming back. Who knows? But I don't care because the choice for mine that I would love to see them bring back is not even a raid.
Wait, what? Oh, I see where you're going here.
You know what I'm saying. Yeah, I would love to see them bring back Prison. That was like Prison of Elders kind of got like so much hate because it didn't have like raid listed. That was like a dungeon before like we even knew like what dungeons were back in Destiny. But it was hella fun. You had like 2 different modes. You had like kind of like the beginning tier mode where like it kind of swapped like weekly with whoever the boss was, and then you had like the legendary difficulty, and that was the final boss with like Skolas, and then it was kind of like I think there's 3 encounters in total. It was probably by far, it was so weird. It was either the easiest thing to do in Destiny or it was the hardest thing to do in Destiny. It just kind of depend on like what the burn was. So if it was solar burn, you would literally just go in there and prep ammo, get Gallahorn ammos, and you would met them. If it was arc burn, you're in for a ride for your life. But yeah, that was one of my favorite activities for a while. I would love to see them bring that back. I don't think that will happen.
Yeah.
In terms of like them reprising something, if they're going to bring something back, I could see them doing Leviathan.
Oh yeah, because of the Cal stuff.
Yeah,
That'd be pretty easy. That'd be pretty easy to bring back too. Yeah, I've only done, what was it, Prison of Elders like once, and it was just like we two mandate, me and my dad, and that was a trip. That was pretty tough to do because of the time limit.
Yeah, it was a fun thing to do. It just unfortunately received a lot of hate because it didn't have raid. Everybody was expecting every like. This was House of Wolves DLC, so this was after the Dark Below. So we obviously Destiny originally released, we got Vault of Glass. A few months later, Dark Below dropped, we got Crota's End. And a few months after that, we got House of Wolves, and they released uh, Prison of Elders, and a lot of people flipped on that. But to me, low key, like House of Wolves is still like one of the top tier DLCs that we received, because Prison of Elders was really good. That's when Destiny got introduced to Trials, which basically saved Destiny 1 for pretty much ever. So,
all right. Next question we have from Wilson. We kind of already answered his question about the matchmaking for comp and trials. But he's asked us our thoughts on the season's exotics so far. So the bow, can't remember the actual name of the bow, but the bow that shoots crystals. I really like it. I think I've expressed that from the beginning.
I haven't used it since we finished, like, shortly after the story. I was using it a ton, probably just to get the catalyst and whatnot, but then just haven't touched it in a while. But it was cool. It was definitely a fun exotic. Felt fairly good too. And I'm not even a huge bow person, but it felt very good. So I like it as well.
Yeah, I really liked it. The fact that you can get full charge just by destroying a crystal around adds like the crystal kills count towards it. Like that's huge, because you can chain like 5 crystals back to back to back and just keep shooting them if there's enough adds. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Then our final question is, does Kane know what the Veil is yet? Actually, there has been an update on the Veil. For those of you that have not been running it, go do your Avalon nodes. There's missions to pick up from the war table. I think there's been one a week for the last 3 weeks, so I've been behind. But they did show off something that looked like the concept art that they put out there for the Veil. So I think that weird like tree plant thing that's on its side. The symbol for Neomuna, but like it's flipped on its side. So they showed that off, had a few voice lines with Asher, or not. I don't think Asher Mir's voice was in it, but they talked about that. So that's your Veil update. I want to get that done. You want to do that, Sully, after we're done here?
Yeah, we can.
All right. So we're gonna go off to go see the Veil. We will tell you about it later. Sully,
we'll know all about it. We'll tell you guys all the details about it.
So, Sully, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitch, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, basically everything. Sully__games. And
you can find me, your host, on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, and everything else as Kane Plays Stuff. That'll be it for us tonight. So until then, Guardians, eyes down.